you should stop paying at level 2. Samsung promises the $199 Galaxy A17 6 years of Android updates. The Galaxy S26 Ultra, which lists at $1,299, is promised $1,100 for one more year of updates. Nobody mentions what the word promised is doing in both of those sentences. If these first few minutes are already making you feel some type of way, do the video a solid. Drop a comment below this video, smash like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. Now, let's get back into it. Level 1 is anything under $100. The thing that defines level 1 is not the screen or the camera. It is that most of these phones arrive with no promise attached to them at all. Android Authority's rundown of manufacturer policies puts it bluntly for TCL. You should not expect more than 2 upgrades from a TCL phone even at its most expensive, and on the budget models, expect 1 upgrade if that. TCL's own website says it typically maintains security updates for at least 2 years after a device first ships. Notice the word typically. That is a manufacturer claim, not a commitment, and the difference is going to matter more the further up this ladder you go. Oppo is similar. Its budget A series mostly gets 1 upgrade and 3 years of patches, and Android Police reports that not all of them get even that, with some receiving nothing. For most of Vivo's lineup, there is no firm software support commitment on record anywhere. Xiaomi does not fully commit to Android updates on its lower tier devices either. One exception is worth naming, because it shows the tier is not hopeless. The Redmi A5 4G sits under $100, ships with Android 15, and carries a promise of 3 years of security patches. Android Central calls it one of the very few phones at that price doing so. So here is what level 1 actually costs you, and it is not the $90. Somewhere around year 2, the patches stop, and the apps you depend on keep raising their minimum Android version above whatever you are still running. The phone does not break. It just quietly stops being allowed to do things. Level 2 starts around $150, and this is the tier the entire video is built around. The Samsung Galaxy A17 went on sale in the United States on January 7th at $199. Samsung pledged 6 Android OS upgrades and 6 years of security patches. For that money, you get a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED screen running at 90 Hz, an Exynos 1330, a 5000 mAh battery, and a microSD slot. On paper, it is the most longevity per dollar available in phones right now. There is one detail that sharpens all of this. The Galaxy A16 5G was the first Samsung phone to receive the 6 upgrade commitment, with support running through to October 2030. Android Authority pointed out that this gives a budget handset better support than the majority of Samsung's own recent flagships. Read that twice. Remember what happened at level 1, where a promise turned out to be a typically. Something very similar is happening here, and almost nobody has reported it. Notebookcheck read Samsung's actual product page rather than the press release. They found 2 things. The commitment is worded as up to 6 years, and the same page carries a line saying the OS upgrade and security update policies are subject to change. Samsung is not bound to the number you bought the phone for. Support could stop early, and technically no promise would have been broken because the promise was written so that it could not be. That does not make the A17 a bad phone. Samsung has the strongest update record in Android, and the reputational damage of walking this back would be serious enough that it probably will not happen. But you are holding an intention rather than a guarantee, and every article you have read stating 6 years as a flat fact was repeating a marketing claim without checking it. Level 3 runs from roughly $250 up to $500, and this is where the ladder stops working. You would expect the number of update years to climb as the price climbs. It does not. The Moto G75 gets 2 years of Android version updates. Motorola's Edge 60 series, sitting well above level 2 money, also gets 2. Security patches on those devices run all the way to 2030, and 2030 is the number Motorola puts in front of you, while the Android upgrade number quietly stays at 2. That gap has a cause. TechRadar traced it to the European Union, demanding at least 5 years of security updates from manufacturers. Motorola improved its policy in response, then found loopholes and declined to commit to Android upgrades on top of the patches. It met the regulation using the cheaper of the two numbers and then advertised that number as though it were the whole story. TCL is worse, capping at 2 upgrades at any price. Nothing does better, offering 3 years of OS upgrades and 6 years of security on the phone 4A and 4B, though 3 is still half of what a $199 Samsung claims, which is a strange thing to have to write about a phone that costs twice as much. So your money at level 3 is buying a better camera, a faster chip, and a nicer screen. It is not buying years. On the one axis that decides when your phone stops being allowed to run your banking app, level 3 is sideways at best. Level 4 is essentially one phone, and it is the ceiling. The Google Pixel 10a shipped on March 5th at $499. Google committed to 7 years of OS updates, 7 years of security patches, and 7 years of Pixel feature drops. Google's own announcement states it in plain language. 7 years is exactly what the $1,299 Galaxy S26 Ultra gets. Sit with that because it is the whole video. Update support tops out at $499. Nothing above that price buys another year, because there is no 8th year on sale from anybody. Now go back to what you heard at the start. $1,100 for 1 extra year was true. It was also the worst possible way to buy that year. The same 7th year costs $300 if you buy it at level 4 instead of level 5. The Pixel 10a is not a powerful phone for the money. Droid Life noted it runs the same Tensor G4 and the same 8 GB of RAM as the Pixel 9a before it, and called the upgrades tough to find. That is a fair criticism of the hardware. It is not a criticism of the support window, which remains the longest anyone will sell you. Level 5 is everything above $500, and on our one axis, it is completely flat. The base Galaxy S26 lists at $859.99. 7 years. The S26 Ultra lists at $1,299.99, also 7 years. Samsung's 7-year policy covers the S, Z, and Tab S lines from 2024 onward, and that figure does not move however far up the range you climb. Here is the strongest argument against everything I have just told you, and it deserves saying properly. 7 years of updates is not the same thing as 7 years of usable phone. Reporting on long-term support points out that budget processors can start feeling sluggish by year 4 or 5 even when the software is perfectly current. An Exynos 1330 in 2031 will be running an Android version written for chips that do not exist yet. So what level 5 is really selling is not more years, it is headroom, so the years you were promised are years you would actually want to use. If you replace your phone every 3 years, that headroom is worth almost nothing to you, and level 2 is the right answer. If you keep a phone for 6, level 4 is where this argument gets genuinely close. If you want more content like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and share this video so you never miss out. Let us know in the comments below. What level are you buying at, and did you know your phone's update number before you bought it, or are you finding out right now? And don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to see it. Hey, before you go, this is episode 1 of the Cheap Phone Files, and the playlist is filling up with every tier worth your money and every one that is not. Trust me, this is one of those series you will want to watch end to end. Go and watch it right now and keep the deep dive going. You know you want to. Thank you for watching.